Well, we enrolled a clip because I forgot to actually film the driver's front, but today was brake job day on the 1954 Chevrolet Suburban that my dad has. So that being said, kick back, have some popcorn, enjoy, and see how all four drum brakes, well, 3 of 4 drum brakes go. And if you got any questions, let us know. So to start, you got to take this beautiful dust shield off, flat blade screwdriver, channel locks, hammer, however you want to use to get out of there. Cotter key comes out, and then this nut has to be backed off. The drum on these is part of the hub assembly, so it kind of comes off in one big chunk. Alright, the nut be off. It's like 1 1/8 inches or 1 1/16, so they are not small. Alright, let's see if we can get this drum off one-handed or if I'm going to drop it. Oh, it's coming off. Whoa, there we go. Alright, the drum with the bearings and everything in it came off. And we can see our spider infested. Oh, it's beautiful. So it looks like somebody did the brakes at one point on this and then parked it. So, got to take the nails off, take these 2 springs off in the correct order. This spring comes off, the adjuster, and this entire assembly comes off. And then I have brand new hardware here. I have new shoes, a new wheel cylinder, pretty much everything we need. I'll clean this off, pack the bearings with grease, and little by little I'll put it back together. Drum's off, it's a little dirty, but it's okay. New wheel cylinder and brake hose attached. Here's our empty backing plate. Yes, the sun's behind me, and yes, I'm a ginger, so I'm wearing sunscreen already in April. Brake line's ready to go. Got the adjuster star down here, new shoes. So I'm gonna work on getting everything hung up here. I want to get the springs on and get this drum back on here. After some finagling, got our positioner back in. We've got spring number 1, spring number 2, wheel cylinders in, both the shoes are on, adjuster with the spring that's a stop, new nails, and there we go. Our drum is complete. Brakes are complete here on the right front of the Suburban, so I need to repack these bearings because they're a little crusty. See if I can wipe some of the grease and rust out of these drums, and both the front sides will be finished after that, and then I can work on the rear. So one piece at a time. Well, the fronts are back on, rear's off. Drum looks not too terrible. I'll have to scrub him up. Here's the old hardware. As you can see, the spiders have decided to make this their wannabe forever home, and I hate to break it to them, but they can't stay here. So I'm gonna grab my tools, knock this off like I did the front. The only thing that's different about the rears is this bracket back here for the emergency brake system. So gotta see what I can do to get this torn down, get our springs off, wheel cylinder out, old shoes, old adjuster, and then I can start working on cleaning it up and do the reassembly. So this will be rear right side, and we'll see how it goes. So it's an empty backing plate now. All of our old components are off. New components are to my left. This is for the e-brake. On this truck, the cables have already been pulled through because we were gonna chassis swap it and we just haven't got there yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt this from up here, looks like about 1/2 inch, and put it on my new shoe, and then I'll start to reinstall. But just wanted to make note of that the emergency brake system on these is held in by one bolt, and then you just feed your cables through the bottom of the drum here, and it would connect over here. So back to it. New shoes, new springs, e-brake assembly is back in. You can see back here. New hardware and pins, nails, clips. She's in. New wheel cylinder. Just got to make a new line for back here because the size is slightly different from the original wheel cylinders. But passenger rear is done. I'll slip the drum back on, get the wheel back on, jack it up, and do the other side. 1 to go, and then the Suburban can be 1 step closer to a stopper. New shoes, new springs, e-brake assembly is back in. You can see back here. New hardware, pins, nails, clips. She's in. New wheel cylinder. Just got to make a new line for back here because the size is slightly different from the original wheel cylinders. But passenger rear is done. I'll slip the drum back on, get the wheel back on, check it up, and do the other side. One to go, and then the Suburban can be one step closer to a stopper. After some beating, the last drum is off, so I'm gonna tear it down, swap it out. I've got 2 lines to put on the master cylinder, and then hip hip hooray, this thing will be hypothetically ready to stop on its own for the first time in about 35 years. So it'll be kind of cool to see the yellow submarine stop on her own. Today's GSC adventure of putting brakes on the Suburban has come to a screeching halt because I need 2 fittings that I didn't know weren't on the truck because it's not been apart in 35 years, and I've never really crawled under it until today. So I guess they'll have to wait for me to get back from my work trip, and then I'll get the master in, finish these 2 lines, then hopefully Dad will be driving it safely. So hope everybody had a great weekend, and follow up next weekend for more progress and shenanigans with the Suburban. Putting her away until next weekend. We'll be back to it.